Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Houston Sharpshooters Draft to Glory franchise mode here in NHL 22. So in last episode, we took on the Chicago Blackhawks in the conference finals, and unfortunately, we lost the series in Game 7, double overtime, and we were that close to going to a Stanley Cup Finals appearance, but we unfortunately lost. But I do think it means our team is definitely close. It's just going to come down to how good these contracts we could get in the offseason, because we do have a lot of big contracts up for renewal, and I don't know how much cap space we have to work with. I don't think it's a whole lot, so hopefully we can get a lot of these guys back, because there is some crucial players I would like to get back. Most of them are RFAs, which is good, but there's a couple of UFAs like Forster. There's also Pasquale that we risk losing, but I hope we don't. Hopefully we could get them on some pretty cheap contracts and keep them around, as well as Soderstrom. That's also a pretty solid one that we need to get back. So anyways, before we get into the draft and the full-on off-season, we do have a few comments to go over. So the first one is from Patrick LaPlante. He says, Jacobs definitely seems like your best option based on what you know of the draft class in your projected pick spectrum. In terms of your scouts, I used a method that I saw on Reddit that was absolutely godsend when I needed to figure out how to avoid not knowing a single thing about the prospects in the top 100, even the top 200. Here's the link. It says for NHL 21, but I've used it in both NHL 20 and 21, and have worked fantastic in both. I haven't played 22, but it should work the same since franchise mode is a copy and paste every year. Yeah, that's true. It's a little tedious and time consuming, but the results are astronomically better. I'd suggest at least trying it out for a couple seasons. If this wasn't a draft to glory, I would say who cares about fine-tuning his scouting, but I think this would be a game changer for the sharpshooters, and goddamn, we need to make the cup final. And then he also says some other stuff that I'm not going to read because there's a lot of comments that I want to go over from him. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying about trying that method, because basically that method, I was looking at it. I'll actually have to bring it up on here on screen again because I honestly don't remember exactly what it said. But basically it was saying to sign like 7 or 8 CHL scouts and then 2 in each league. 1 or 2 of them are roamers, which I don't even know how you could get people that roam between leagues. Maybe you have to auto-adjust them between leagues throughout the season, which kind of sounds tedious. It also says 2 USA scouts, 2 European scouts, 4 Scandinavian scouts, and then 1 or 2 Russian scouts, which definitely sounds like a somewhat easy method, but at the same time, it does sound like a little bit of a hassle. So even though I do think it's a good thing to do for this year's, I'm not going to do it, and I don't want to sound like a dick saying that I'm not going to do it. It's just the main reasoning is just because it's too time consuming right now because we were kind of late into the series. But if I would have started the series off like that, then I could have done it. So maybe if we ever do another draft to glory, I could always do that. But right now, I just don't feel like I want to have an off season that takes a long time just to pick up all these scouts and stuff like that. And then also to have those roamers that between leagues, I'd probably have to adjust them to what league they're in throughout the season, which also would add time to videos. And I don't want you guys having to sit here for 40 minutes of me talking about editing like scouts and all that stuff. Like, I mean, I could make some edits and stuff like that, but it's pretty time consuming. So but we're definitely going to probably go with Jacobs at the draft because I believe also, yeah, Hawks fan also says tough way to go. I think Jacobs would be a good choice since it seems like your bottom 6 had a bit of trouble scoring. So, yeah, Jacobs is more than likely going to be our pick since the 2 of those guys suggested him. Hopefully we could get him. He is all the way over here. We don't really know anything about him, but he is a left winger. He's probably going to be like either a top 9, I would assume, or he could be like a top 6, which wouldn't be that bad. But this draft class doesn't really look that strong anyways, so hopefully we can get some... Oh, maybe they mean this Jacobs, actually. Yeah, they probably mean this Jacobs, I think, instead, because I was looking at him, I think, and I pinned him. That's interesting that there was 2 Jacobs. You guys confused me there. Jacobs with a K and Jacobs with a C. Hawksans is Jacobs with a K, and same with Patrick LaPlante. So I don't know if they mean this guy or if they mean the other one. The other one's supposed to go late in the second round, but there's literally 2 Jacobs, which is really confusing. So I'll probably end up going with the one with a K, even though we don't know anything about him. But then again, you guys might be actually referring to the one with a C. Yeah, this guy looks better, so I think I might go with the one with the C, because we do need more centers always, because if we lose Pasquale and whatnot. So yeah, you guys confused me a little bit there. I didn't even realize there was 2 Jacobs in this draft, though. So that was that comment. And also, Hawks fan mentioned that we should definitely re-sign Kapitanov, Burns, Forster, and Yip. And then he said hopefully the other guys don't want too much, and he thinks we should be fine. So hopefully we can get all those guys back on some decent contracts that won't bug us and whatnot. And hopefully we don't lose anybody good. And I think that was it for comments. So yeah, there was one other comment from Patrick LaPlante. It's another long one. He says, I think you should pay the 1.6 for Pasquale. Try to qualify as many of these guys as possible, and I feel like you should be able to keep pretty well every RFA. And Pasquale, I didn't really sit down and calculate it all, but it should be affordable since most of the RFA contracts are like 1 million, and also once you're past September 13th, whoever didn't accept that qualifying offer, go see what they want. Sometimes they are now asking for basically the same thing as a qualifying offer, sometimes even less, since they aren't on the squad and preseason is starting up. It's like they want to do everything possible to not hold out past December 1st. Yeah, which is true. So we could, like, some of those guys could hold out a long time. I'm just really scared that a team is going to qualify one of our big guns, and then we're not going to have the cap space to get them back, which would not be good. So hopefully we don't run into those type of problems in this, because that would be pretty annoying. But anyways, let's get into this offseason, because this episode is probably going to be a little bit long just because we had to go through a couple comments. But yeah, let's get into this draft and get probably Jacobs with a C and not with a K, just because I honestly don't know how good the one with a K is. So I feel like you guys meant the one with a C, and you might have both accidentally put the K instead. I'm 100% sure with that. So let's see what we could do here. Let's see the first top 5 of this draft first. So Carl goes to Boston. That's a medium franchise sniper, so really good pickup for the Boston Bruins. Yeah, that guy's going to be a really good player. Detroit at number 2 is going to take Goldobin. Is that Nikolai Goldobin? Nikita Goldobin. Okay, interesting. Minnesota at number 3 is going to take Sanders. Sniper as well. Wow, a lot of snipers in this draft. Tampa takes another sniper in Eves. And Seattle's going to take Adamski. Damn, 4 snipers in the top 5. Or 5 snipers in the top 5. That's kind of weird. Let's sim to our pick at number 30 here and see what we could get. Hopefully we could get a decent prospect. So yeah, Jacobs with a K is right in the same spot. So I feel like you guys actually might mean Jacobs with a K just because he's in our spot. And then Jacobs with a C is probably a second rounder that we're not going to be able to get. I don't know how good Jacobs with a K is. How good are players around this spot? Top 9, top 6, some of them. Yeah, I guess we'll just go with Jacobs with a K since I think you both actually meant this player. But the one with a C is just throwing me off completely. So Christian Jacobs from the SHL. Hopefully he's a good enough player. And yeah, let's see what he is. Is he going to be a top 9 or a top 6? He's going to be a top 9. Yikes. I mean, that's still not bad because it does help fill out our bottom 6. Like I think some of you guys mentioned. 64 overall medium top 9. Not too bad. His statistics aren't the greatest, but he is a solid shooter right now. So yeah, hopefully that guy could crack into our bottom 6 at some point because we do not have a whole lot of years left in this franchise mode. Let's continue this draft and see if we can get any other players that are going to be helpful. This guy's 3 years away, and he's a defenseman. We could always use more defensemen too. This guy has no weakness and 4 years away. Oh, I don't know if there's any low leads potentially in this or not. Yeah, this draft class is pretty bad, it looks like, on paper. I think we're going to take the defenseman, just in case we end up losing somebody big on the defensive core. Always good to get another one in. So Dakota Spiller, welcome aboard. He's a top 6D. Yeah, this draft class is not good. Like, there might have been a franchise player first overall, but top 6Ds and top 9 forwards going into the second round is yikes. Now, there could be random steals here and there, so that'd be nice, but yeah, this is not a good draft for us, which is not great. This guy has a weakness of character, which I don't like, so he could go get drafted by Montreal instead. Yeah, we're going to go with Jace Cairns. Why not? That guy's from, like, Croatia. Low top 6, 62 playmaker. That's not too bad. That might be one of our best picks of this draft so far. I'll definitely take that. Round 4-wise, Marko Koskinen. Yeah, this is a really weak draft. I don't even want to take a goalie because they'll probably end up like medium fringe starters or something. I mean, we could use another goalie since Park is going to be coming to the NHL probably next season, but I don't know for sure. You know what? Let's just go with another... How good is this guy? Good shooting-wise, but 5 years away. I don't like that. That means he's probably really low overall. I'm going to go with Marco Koistinen or Koistinen. And he is a top 9 as well. Low top 9, 59 overall. Yeah, this is a really bad draft. Like, I don't think we would have even found anything good, even if we had good scouts for this draft. Cade Teal might be decent. He's 19 already, but I'm going to take a chance on him. Why not? 61 Grinder. I mean, maybe he becomes something for the bottom 6, but being 19 already, I don't really know if he's going to pan out. We got 2 more picks left, but this has been a really weak draft. I don't think we'd be able to find anything good anyways. Like I said, even if we had good scouts, this draft is probably a crapshoot. This guy has no weakness, which is kind of interesting, but he is 19 as well. There's another goalie in this round. Do we take another goalie prospect in case? Yeah, I think we're going to just take another goalie because why not? Jake Alvin, welcome aboard. Medium backup. Maybe he becomes something. I mean, I don't think he's going to become an NHL starter, but he could become a backup goalie, which would be okay. And our final pick of this draft, which has been a terrible draft for probably all teams in the league. That guy's a 20-year-old. Any random low lead steals? Yeah, we could definitely guarantee our low leads no. Scouts are recommending us this Lalonde dude. He's 20 years old, no weakness. Let's take a chance on a 20-year-old, why not? Low bottom 663. I mean, it's a good overall. And some solid stats, but being 20 already, I don't really know if he's going to crack our lineup. So anyways, that is our draft. Kind of a really weak one. Jacobs is being a top 9. I think that was our best player out of the draft, other than the low top 6. So yeah, definitely a terrible draft for all teams probably involved. Now let's get into the re-sign stage. Actually, let me try and offer some contracts before we just hop into the re-sign stage, maybe. Maybe not. Just because I need to know how much cap space we have first. I don't want to risk losing anybody. Okay, so we need to get our associate coach back, which is probably not mandatory, but I will try and get him back. Let's try and get him as our associate. I could have given him a little more money, but it's okay if we lose him, because we could probably find a better associate coach if we need to. Let's get back those scouts. But yeah, I could technically revamp our scouting, but I really don't want to. It's just going to take too long to get all these scouts and stuff figured out. But hopefully we could still draft somewhat decently. Like, we just need better draft classes than the one we just had. So, there you go on that front. Also, sorry if my voice sounds husky. It's because it's literally trying to die on me while I'm trying to record this, which hopefully it does not. Okay, so now we got to get into the toughest part of this offseason, which is the contracts. We have $36 million, which is not a lot at all to work with. Yeah, that's not a lot of money to work with at all. Because if we go to all expiring, we got some big contracts. So I think I might have to qualify some of these guys. Like, 1 year at 10, I'd have to probably try the 85% trick. Let's go to the bottom of this list first and see what players are asking for. Actually, okay, in terms of contracts, let's just qualify everybody that's in the minors. That's in RFA maybe. Let's go to RFAs first. Because if we just qualify all these guys, some of them will just accept for dirt cheap. So we'll just qualify a lot of the players that are below an 80 overall, probably. Because most of them should accept for, like, dirt cheap. I'd assume. I would hope, at least. Ortiz. What else we got here? Shoots. Some of these guys could crack into our lineup next season. We'll also qualify Sador. Because he should be cheap. Ferraro. Even though some of these guys were in the NHL last year. It's just I don't want to give them over $1 million right now. I want to qualify them first. There we go. Roach as well, maybe. Yeah, I'll qualify Roach for now as well. And then now we got our bigger ones. So Yip is definitely somebody that needs to come back. Because he's a pretty good defensive piece. He wants $5 million. Okay, I'm going to qualify him for now as well, I think. Or maybe not. I'll wait a few days and see if his asking price comes down first. Burns wants 10 million. We're gonna have to give these guys 1-year deals. The main reasoning is because Morales' contract comes to an end at the end of this year, so we might have a better, an easier time signing some of these guys this upcoming offseason after this. So let's try the 85% trick here in the offseason. I know it doesn't work apparently, but I am gonna open up the calculator and just see if I can, because if I could get these guys for way less, that would be nice. So let's do 9.8 times 0.85, and we got, looks like I get offered from like 8.35, which I think is fine for 1 year. I just want to make sure I could get back our big guns first. So let's try that for 1 year. And then Kapitanov for 1 year, what does he want? 10.6. Man, these guys are asking for a lot of money, which is kind of scary. So we'll times that by 0.85. Looks like I could offer him 1 year at $9 million, or just over $9 million, which should be decent. And then we got to look at our UFAs, because we got like Forster and stuff like that are very important to this team. So we'll do that. Joseph, we will qualify you as well, because why not? And then our UFA wise, okay, this is where it gets interesting. We are going to have to let go of some of the AHL players, which is okay, because we could replace them with younger guys. But for now, let's start off with our big guns. Forster, what do you want for 1 year? Not too much. Let's see if I could lower this a little bit. 1 year at 2.7. Pasquale for 1 year. 1.5 is reasonable. I'll try and talk him down a tiny bit. And then I'll wait on the rest of these guys, because most of those guys aren't that important, I think. Actually, Soderstrom is important. Let's try and get him at 1 year at 2.35. Drop that down a little bit. Janssen I'll wait on as well, because Sweat could probably play in the AHL next year. So I'll actually sign Sweat, because he's a 70. Let's advance today and see if we get those guys. So we got that coach back, which is interesting. Didn't expect him to accept right away. And Kapitanov rejected. And Yip is rejected as well. So we did get back, who was it? We got back Burns for 1 year. That's actually really nice. At 8.35, I definitely take that, because we will have more cap space next offseason. Let's try and get Kapitanov in 1 year again. Drop his asking price down to like 9.5 maybe. 9.5 should get it done for 1 year. And then it comes down to signing everybody else. Let's advance the day again. I know it's kind of quick to advance another day, but let me just see. He rejected that as well. Oh man, Kapitanov is going to be problematic, isn't he? Let me go to these and release a lot of these AHL players. Like Whitaker is going to get replaced by Pagaduin, just because he's younger. Connor's also going to come into the AHL. Same as Grigorenko. And we're going to have to probably release Alanin. And we will try and re-sign these guys. Actually, they want $1 million plus. Those guys might have to be let go of, but we might need them. So I'm going to hold on to them for now. I still need Forster on a 1 year deal. Let me try and talk him down to 2.8 for 1 year. Soderstrom is also kind of holding out right now. Let's just do 1 year at what he wants. See if they'll accept that. And Forster's still rejecting. Soderstrom accepted, which is good. Kapitanov's still very important to get back. He doesn't want 9.5, so he's going to probably be our most pricey. We could qualify him, but I feel like some team is going to come out with a contract against us. Yep. Oh, man, $5 million bucks. Is that more than before? It might be. I don't know. I'll try and talk him down. Try and talk him down to 1 year at 3.9. That might be pushing it a little bit. Let's advance a day. He rejects it as well. Okay, we only have a couple more days left in this, so we need to get Forster back. And I will give him a little bit more money than he's asking for. 3.3. I think we might end up losing Zubov. Yeah, because he wants $2 million bucks right now. Yeah, I think these 3 guys are all going to go to free agency, and if they don't sign anywhere by next start of the season, I could always sign them back up because they are drafted property of ours. So I will probably let those 3 go for now. Janssen, I don't know if we should hold on to Janssen or not, because now we do technically have Park in the NHL. Janssen kind of gets pushed out. Yeah, I think Janssen needs to be let go of, which is unfortunate, but we are going to let him go. He's a good overall goalie, but but basically Park has taken over his spot. Sucks to let him go because he is one of our better goalies, but it has to happen. And then, yeah, Kapitanov, what do you need, man? We just need you on a 1-year deal for now. I would give you multiple years if I knew that I wouldn't run into cap problems. So let's try 1 year again and raise this up to like 9.65, maybe 9.6. Or else we're going to have to end up qualifying him probably. And let's see. He rejected. So we're going to have to qualify him because this is the last day of the re-sign stage. Forster accepted, which is good. We have 22 million left in cap space. All 3 of these guys are going to head to free agency. And then all these guys are going to be qualified, which hopefully most of them could accept for 22 million. I think we should be able to get most of them back. I feel like we should. Let me just check these unsigned guys. Lucic isn't going to be able to play down there anyways. Goddard isn't really ready yet. So yeah, we will advance a day, I think. Yeah, we'll advance a day to free agency and see if all our RFAs accept a qualifying offer. None of them accepted yet. Damn. I mean, I guess we're just going to have to sim up to next season and see if any of them come back. Hopefully none of them get qualifying offers from the AI, though, because that would be really annoying. So we got, let's see, how much guys qualified right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 forwards, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 16 players, basically, which would put us at 42 of 50 contracts. And then a goalie as well. Okay. Yeah, I guess we're just going to start simming up to next season and see if those guys accept. And hopefully none of those guys get any qualifying offers. But, yeah, I'm kind of scared. So Ronnie accepts, that's good. Ortiz has been sent an offer sheet. Screw you. We're going to match that. Which kind of sucks because that is a guy that's been playing in the AHL. He does have potential, but I didn't expect him to get sent a qualifying offer. We're going to match that offer. Joseph is accepted. Sador is accepted. Let me just see if the asking prices come down on any of those guys. If we could stop getting all these notifications. Can you stop simulating, please? There you go. View contracts. What do we got? 20 million still in cap space. And we're down to these guys. Okay, most of them are roster players too. A lot of these guys should accept soon. Cherson Bayev, what are you asking for? We're going to give that to you. Easily, no problem. We're going to give all these guys down here that are asking for 2 ways contracts. And then we go to goalies. Joseph already accepted. So it's just going to come down to Yip and Kapitanov. Yip's asking for way less now, which I think I could try and talk him down still a tiny little bit. 1 year at 3.5 is easily a good contract. 7 years at 9.85 is not bad for Kapitanov. Maybe I'll do 1 year at 7.5. Yeah, his asking price did come down a lot. So yeah, let's give 1 year to Kapitanov, see if he'll accept 7.6, because that's pretty much what he's asking for anyways. And then we'll have everybody back, which is good, and we'll still have cap space. So yeah, we didn't actually run into as much cap problems as I thought. Once guys start asking for less money, it's definitely easier. Tursenbayev is accepted, that's good to see that. Larocque is accepted, shoots. Ozolinch is accepted, Yip accepts as well, that's nice. And Kapitanov has accepted as well. So we got everybody back, I'm pretty sure now. Yep, and we have 11.5 in cap space. So, oh man, we have our team back together again. That's good to see. Pretty good contracts, I think. Because a lot of these guys are now signed for one-year deals, which is kind of scary. But Morales' asking price for next season should come down a lot. I hope it does. He wants $9 million right now, but hopefully his asking price comes down. Because then we could get Burns and Kapitanov long-term. And then sign Morales for 1 year every single season or something like that. But we do have a lot of contracts up next offseason. So hopefully we could win in our window. And let's continue to sim up to next season and get our lines adjusted. See what our lines look like for the upcoming season. Hopefully they look pretty solid. Because hopefully nobody really dropped off. Or hopefully we got a lot of good growth too. Because that would definitely help us out. Because we only really lost Zubov to free agency. I mean, I could still bring him back if he is a free agent, but... Okay, let's take a look at what they have our lines set up like so. Who's scratched at the moment? I don't want Schutz to be scratched. I want him playing if I can. But let's set up these lines. So Thornton, Kapitanov, and Jask line looks good. Or I could do Morales. Yeah, let's split. Maybe not. Yeah, let's split up Thornton and Kapitanov because they're goal scorers. They could play Sidu and Burns, and then Pasquale up. Ferraro, I don't want him playing center because he can't really take a face-off, even though he is a centerman. So we'll go something like that. Pretty much the team looks the exact same, it looks like, but it does look like Pasquale and Tursenbayev are a little bit worse, which hopefully they get a little bit more growth with some morale. Defensively, we are going to have to make some adjustments, it looks like. Sedin is outgrown Hedman, which is interesting. Okay, so we might have to play Yip on the top 6 pairing. I could take out a Fenisenkov, though, and I probably will scratch a Fenisenkov for Schutz, maybe. Oh, Schutz is not a good fit for this team. That's really unfortunate because he's a low elite. So I guess he will go back down to the minors. Hopefully we could... Yeah, hopefully we can utilize him sometime. Because he only fits our top pairing really well. Which obviously I don't really think there's a way to get him into the top pairing. Especially with these two being as good as they are. Maybe I'll play Sedin still on the second pairing. To split up the two really good overall players. And then yeah, let's send Schutz, I think, and Ronnie back down to the minors. Because we don't really run into injury troubles anyways. Kind of sucks to send those two guys down, but it makes sense. So let's send both of them down. Anybody in the minors that could be called up? Patan? Top 977. He looks like a pretty solid player, but I don't really know where I could slot him in right now. I could call him up and then scratch Ferraro. Ortiz is pretty much an NHLer as well. Carter Ortiz looks good. But I don't know if he's ready really yet. He's listed as a depth forward, so we could try and play him. Like, if we go back, where could we slot him in? I'd have to probably scratch, like, Tursenbayev, or actually Ferraro I want to scratch, probably, because he's a grinder. But he is listed as a fourth liner. Maybe I'll just keep it the way it is for now, but we could call up guys if we run into troubles in the playoffs. And we're running Soderstrom and Park, who's an 80 overall now, which is really nice to see that. So we actually have a legitimate goalie combination. And then special teams still look pretty good. I'm not going to even touch our penalty kill and our power plays and stuff like that because chemistry looks good on it. It's just all about if it can simulate that well. So yeah, that's what our team looks like going into the season. So Thornton, Jaskline, and Morales, Kapitanov, Burns, Sidu, Forster, Pasquale, Korostin, and a fourth line of Sidor, Tursenbayev, and Ferraro. Defensively, we got Taratuk and Hedman, Sedin, and Afanasenkov, and then Roach and Yip. And goalie-wise is Soderstrom and Park. But like I said, if we run into troubles like Ferraro's taking too much penalty minutes, I could call up Carter Ortiz. I could call up Patan. One of those two for sure, I think, could be in the NHL lineup this season if we really want to. And then defensemen, I'd rather let these guys kind of still marinate down there in the minors for a little bit longer. I will still put Blacker on the top pairing down there in the minors, though. Because he is a medium elite. He's 22 years old already, so he might not be an elite player, but he might be something decent down the road. I do want to get Benson in instead of Joseph in the minors. So that way we're running our two younger goalies. Ladd should technically be playing as well down there, and same with Pagaduin since they're younger guys. So I will take out Ronning for Ladd. And I will take out Ozelinch as well for Pagaduin. And there you go. That's good for the minors, all set and ready to go. So I think that's it. Let me take a quick look at the contract situation again, just in case I don't remember for this upcoming offseason. So yeah, we have some big, even bigger options to deal with this offseason because Morales' contract is done. It's like this year is probably our best chance of winning a Stanley Cup, I think, because we have the depth in the minors as well. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Houston Sharpshooters Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we will simulate the season, and we more than likely will make it back to the playoffs. It's just all about if we could actually get past that conference finals and win our first Stanley Cup. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.